Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to look at this guitar right here. This started out as a Fender Player Telecaster, and I did a bunch of stuff to it, stripped it all down to nothing, and rebuilt it all, repainted it, etc. We're going to check it out and hear some sounds, and it's going to be cool. So this is a 2020 model Fender Player Telecaster, so made in Mexico. I picked this up secondhand off a guy on Facebook Marketplace for a pretty good price, and I'm going to turn this into a bit of a project guitar. So this finish on the pickguard, this spray painted kind of finish, this was all over the whole guitar. The guy that I bought it off, he's stripped the paint back to the original polar white color. Some chips in the body and whatnot, pretty rough. But the neck feels pretty good. It's quite a thick, chunky neck on this. Feels nice to play. The frets are in pretty good shape. It's missing the control switch tip thing. But yeah, we're going to just start with this and we're just going to see how we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the paint off the body. Might strip the finish off the neck as well. And we're going to repaint it with nitro. Swap some parts out, new tuners and whatnot. And we're going to see if we can turn this into a bit of a workhorse of a telly. So let's get this thing pulled apart and we'll see what we got. Alright, so here's the guitar. So just getting rid of the strings obviously first, getting all the crap off it. Yeah, the neck's in pretty good shape. Some of the frets have got a few little divots in them and whatever, but mostly pretty good. So I'm going to get rid of all those tuners. I'm going to get rid of this 6 saddle bridge as well. Not a big fan of those bridges. Neck plate's fine, I'm going to keep the neck plate. But yep, tuners have got to go, and the saddles and the bridge plate got to go as well. This pick guard is looks like some kind of cosmic joke. I don't even know what's going on with this, but that pick guard's got to go, or at least be cleaned. Pickups on these I think are actually pretty good, so I don't know if I'm going to have to change the pickups. We'll see how we go with that. I don't think it's been treated particularly nice, this guitar. As far as the parts, yeah, just got them all on eBay and Amazon. So just the vintage tuners, they were like $60 Australian, I think. The ashtray bridge, I think, was maybe about $50, $60 Australian. That was just on eBay. I had to buy the little top hat plastic cover thing for the switch because it was missing. That was like $5 on eBay. The red tortoiseshell pick guard, that was just an eBay job as well. I just did have to drill the 2 holes for the neck pickup. That was easy, just battery drill. Yeah, and the compensated saddles, I already had them from another guitar, but you can buy them online as well. They're not that expensive, maybe like $30. So all in all, it wasn't really that expensive. As far as the nitro paint goes, there's a couple of companies here in Australia that do make their own nitro paint blends in spray cans. Some of these ones have like the actual Fender colors as well. So if you don't want black, if you want like seafoam green or something, they have those. And they have like the specific vintage tints of, you know, like a 1964 Strat, which is pretty cool. And they're not that expensive, like maybe $50 a can. Pro tip to anyone doing this, take a photo before you desolder and cut wires, just so you know what goes where when you try and put it back together. Don't ask me how I know that, but I just know it. Now, I have been stung in the past. It's always a good idea to take some photos. Getting the solder off the back of these pots can be tricky too, so my advice to you would be crank your soldering iron up nice and hot, but don't leave it on for too long. You don't want to burn the pots. I've got the old barbecue scraper out to get the ferrules out of the back of the guitar. Apologies to the wife, but worked actually surprisingly well. And if you scratch the body, it doesn't matter anyway, so win-win. Okay, so here's the neck. So getting rid of all the tuners, just these are the standard Fender tuners with the 2 pins in the back. I'm going to get rid of them, and I put some vintage tuners on, which you'll see later in the video. I actually got the conversion bushings, but I didn't even use them. I actually just packed it with some copper tape. So I just packed the hole around the tuner with a little bit of tape and just jammed it in there, and it's pretty solid. Originally I was going to take the finish off just by scraping it with a razor blade, as you can see here. It does work, but it was incredibly time consuming. So I gave up on that, and I actually ended up pulling all the frets out and just using the heat gun, and then stripped it all with the heat gun and just gave it a sand, and I refretted the neck. That was just a bit of a project of mine. I wanted to learn how to refret a guitar, so I bought some tools and ended up trying it on this guitar. I didn't get any video of it, unfortunately, but that's the way I did it. So same thing with the body, stripping it with a heat gun, just got a little scraper in there,
It actually works quite well. So the finish on these is really thick, but with a bit of heat gun action, it just peels straight off. Getting around the edges of the guitar was a little bit tricky, but bit of sanding and stuff helps out there, and just be patient. It took a while. The finish at the end, so it's pretty well flat, but you can see there's a little bit of discoloration there from some of the glues or adhesives or some of the paint that's still kind of seeped into the wood, I suppose. I'm painting over it in black, so I wasn't that concerned, to be honest. It's just spray can nitro. So wood filler first, sanding sealer, I should say, and then the black nitro. And I did a whole bunch of coats, probably like 10 or 12 light coats, I reckon I did. The vintage tuners, they're just the proper vintage tuners, like the smaller sized ones. So they're actually too small for the holes on this neck, but I just packed them with some copper shielding tape, like copper tape. Yeah, same pickups. I put the new ashtray bridge on, Wilkinson compensated brass saddles. The nut was just the same nut that came with it. That was fine. Yeah, the water slide decal I just got on eBay. That's pretty much the build process. If I've missed anything or you want to know something, just hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you. All right, so here's the guitar, right? Some shots of it. I'll do some little close-ups for you. So here's the guitar, all said and done. Now I did do a little sneaky, and I put on the back the custom shop logo. Obviously it's not a custom shop. Before everyone in the comments is like, it's not a custom shop. I know it's not a custom shop. I just did it for a laugh. I'm not trying to swindle anyone. I took a photo of the serial numbers and all that stuff when I did it. So if anybody ever asks, I've got it there. Anyway, soapbox moment over. Vintage tuners. I dig it. Looks cool. Yeah, the colour of the neck come out really good, I think. I haven't polished the body yet, so it's still quite matte looking, but I kind of like it. I'm sure as I rub my arm on whatever and as I'm playing, I'm sure it'll polish itself up nicely anyway. It's got the brass compensated saddles. I think these are Wilkinson ones maybe. Intonation is not 100%, but it's pretty close, pretty good. Little top hat thingo. And yeah, that's about it. It's a Telecaster. It does the Telecaster thing, right?
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's the full, it's not really a build process, it's a rebuild, I suppose, process. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Cheers.